Achieving clear, radiant, and smooth skin doesn't have to be complicated. It's all about learning how to care for your unique skin type. Welcome to the Skin Coach in Georgia, the podcast dedicated to teaching you about healthy skin, what it takes to clear your acne, and age gracefully. I'm Mayade Samimi, a former acne sufferer turned medical esthetician and founder of Urban Skincare Clinic. I've helped thousands of women just like you love their skin again and get compliments. It's been my calling to be an esthetician friend to other women, someone I desperately needed by my side when struggling with acne but didn't have. So, let's improve your skin's health starting now. Hello. Welcome to another episode of the Skin Coach in Georgia podcast, where I talk about acne, aging, and how to maintain a healthy, radiant complexion. If you don't know my story, I am a former acne sufferer turned clinical esthetician and acne expert, and I know what it's like to not feel your best self. For me, it was my physical appearance. It was my skin. It was the fact that it was red and bumpy and I had nonstop acne. It was frustrating and I just didn't feel pretty. For you, it might be because you're not feeling fulfilled in your career or the phase of life you're in right now. I say all this to say, I met Alina at a women's networking event sometime last year. And as soon as she introduced herself, I was intrigued to learn more. And I thought, my goodness, other women need to hear her message. And so here is her bio. Alina Fortis is a working mom, certified coach, and psychology enthusiast, working with women for more than 20 years, specializing in helping women overcome stress, improve relationships, and nurture their well being. And speaking from experience, I think you're going to love this interview, but speaking from experience, the very first step towards change is deciding. Yes. You got to decide first that you want to make a change. You want to create a new habit or do things differently. You know, you need to make time on your calendar for self care to feel more balanced. You know, you need to look into taking better care of your skin or find a solution for acne, rosacea, whatever you're dealing with. You know, you need to start prioritizing exercise and movement, but you've got to decide first, my friend, and then make room on your calendar. Otherwise, none of it is going to magically happen. All right, without further ado, here is that interview. Hi, Alina. Welcome to the Skin Coach in Georgia podcast. I am so excited for our chat today.
Hi, Mayday. Thank you so much for the invitation. I am really happy to be here and I'm honored to be speaking to your audience today.
Wonderful. Well, let's get right into it then. Tell us about life coaching. What is life coaching?
Okay. So for the people who are not familiar with life coaching, I'll explain briefly what this is. It's like having a guide and a personal cheerleader rolled into one. It's all about helping you figure out what you want in life and how to get there. And I think it's important to know the difference between coaching and therapy. The key difference being that therapy is focused on the past experience and emotional healing, while life coaching is more focused on the present and the future. It's about setting goals, creating action plans, overcome obstacles, and moving forward.
Okay, so tell us, how did you get into life coaching?
Yes, gladly. So I am a life coach. I've studied psychology back in Romania. This is where my accent is coming from. I've been working with people for more than 20 years. And I specialize in working with women and help them overcome stress. I understand the struggles, the highs and the lows of being a mom, juggling various roles, always feeling short on time and sometimes on temper too, managing endless to-do lists, being overwhelmed, and finding at the end of the day, they have nothing left on themselves. So I love to use my knowledge and my experience to help moms tackle challenges with a calm and clear mind, set healthy boundaries, prioritize their time, improve relationships at work and home, practice self-care and nurture their well-being, and embrace confidence and recognize their self-worth as amazing mamas.
Wonderful. That sounds amazing. Don't we all need help? So, I personally have been a stay-at-home mom for a short period of time, and then the majority of my mom life, I've been a working mom. And I'm sure there is mom guilt no matter which side you're on. But today we're focusing on working mom guilt. Tell us about working mom guilt. What is it, and how do we minimize it?
Sure. I love this topic because it resonates with so many moms, stay at home and working moms. But
Mhm.
like you said, today we'll focus on working moms guilt. So this is the nagging feeling that many moms get when they're juggling their career and family life. It's like feeling torn between being at work and being home with the kids. Imagine sitting in a meeting and all you can think about is your daughter's school play that you're missing. It's basically fueled by these unrealistic expectations of being this super mom who effortlessly balances everything with a big smile on her face. But if we want to get real, that's now how life works. Society doesn't really help because it makes us feel like we're falling short as moms. So here is the thing, mom's guilt is completely normal. It doesn't mean we're failing as moms. It just means that we are human. So it's crucial to give ourselves a break and understand that it's okay to feel this way sometimes. And if there is one thing that your audience remembers from our discussion today is this: perfection is an illusion. It does not exist. And it only adds unnecessary stress to our
Mhm.
lives. Embracing imperfection is about freeing ourselves from unrealistic expectation and focusing on what truly matters, our well-being, our family, and enjoying this journey called life.
Well said. Oh my goodness. Absolutely. So, how do we minimize mom guilt?
Sure. I can give you a few quick tips to minimize the guilt. So first of all would be acknowledge your feelings. It's totally normal to feel that pang of guilt when we are torn between work and family. Just acknowledging that feeling without being too hard on ourselves, it's a
Mhm.
great first step. Remember, you're not alone in this. Plenty of other working moms are navigating the same emotions. So, for instance, if you miss your kid's soccer game because you have a work deadline, it's okay to feel a bit guilty. And recognize that feeling is a first step. Secondly, you can reframe your perspective. Instead of dwelling on what you couldn't do, focus on what you did accomplish. Celebrate small wins, no matter how small they may seem. Whatever is finishing a work project or spending quality time with your kids, give yourself credit when it's due. Another step is set realistic expectations. Perfection is an impossible standard, so set realistic goals for yourself, set boundaries at work and home, and recognize that it's okay to prioritize and make choices that align with your values and priorities. For example, if you're struggling to make it to every school event, it's okay to prioritize and choose the ones that mean the most to you and your family. Another
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
another tip would be practice self-compassion. Cut
Mm-hmm.
yourself some slack and show yourself some love. Remember, you are doing the best you can with the resources and the time you have. So be kind to yourself, treat yourself with the same understanding you'd offer to a close friend. So if you end up serving breakfast for dinner one night instead of healthy, home cooked meal, don't sweat it. Tomorrow it's another day. Another useful tip would be to focus on quality time. So it's not about the quantity of time you
Mm-hmm.
spend with your kids, but the quality. So make the most of the moments you do have together by being present, engaged, fully focused on the kids. So put away your phone, forget about the work emails, and just soak up those precious moments together. Whether it's playing games, baking cookies, dancing in the living room, make those moments count.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
And I
good.
have two more to go.
Please.
Uh, Communicate honestly, I think it's also so important because it means that we are not afraid to reach out for help when we need it.
Mm-hmm.
It could be delegating tasks at work or just asking a family member to help with the kids. So having a support network is key. And it's so important to be able to say and admit that you can't do it all on your own. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
so important. And last but not least, prioritize self care. You can pour from an empty cup. So make self care a priority. Instead of viewing it as a selfish, see it as part of your well being. Remind yourself that by taking care of your own needs, you are better able to show up for your family and your professional life. So, taking care of yourself is just as important as taking care of your family and your job.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for sharing all these tips. It literally feels like a virtual hug, like permission
Mhm.
to cut ourselves a slack. Yeah,
Yes,
we can be hard
yes.
on ourselves. Oh my goodness. Yeah, and self-care. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Love these tips. Thank you. Now, can you share some tips on how we can find time for self-care in our busy lives?
Sure. I hear this a lot from moms. I don't have time for me, right? I don't have time for self care. And I want to invite you to reframe that. You don't have time, you make time.
Hmm.
So here's like a few tips that can help. First of all, prioritize. Write down your tasks for the week at work and home. Sort them into urgent, important, non urgent, non important. Focus on what's urgent and important. Those are the tasks that need your immediate attention. And challenge yourself to delete one or three non important tasks each week. Decide what can wait and what can be delegated. And also important, practice saying no. Learn to say no to activities, commitments, or requests that don't align with your priorities or drain your energy is not a sign of weakness. It's a powerful act of self care and self preservation. It's so important. Then you need to put me time on the calendar. So
Hmm.
schedule weekly self care like it's a non negotiable appointment. Whether it's a yoga class, a massage workout, a date night with your partner, or a coffee with a friend, put it on a calendar and make it happen. And don't forget about these spontaneous bits of joy, as I call them. Just if you could go out for a quick walk, or take a bath, or enjoy a cup of tea, or listen to your favorite song. Those just few minutes doing something that relaxes you
Hmm.
and brings a smile on your face make a big difference. These are tiny moments and they may seem insignificant, but they add up. So I really encourage you to sprinkle them throughout the day. Also,
Absolutely. Hmm.
I think it's important to have a good nighttime routine because, we need rest. We need good sleep. So a solid nighttime routine, I think it's key. Put down your phone, stop scrolling on social media, turn off the TV,
Do
and
your
go.
skincare routine.
Yes, yes, and go to bed as early as you can.
Mm-hmm.
I think getting enough sleep it's crucial for well-being. So if you go to bed on time, maybe you can wake up like 30 minutes early, and you could do something that makes you happy, like make a meditation or journal, or change a cup of coffee in peace before the hustle of the day begins.
Absolutely. I've noticed, yeah, self-care can mean different things to different people.
Sure.
I've found that finding what it is that brings you joy, makes you smile, fills your cup, and doing more of that wherever you
Exactly.
can fit it on your calendar. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Another tip would be to just very simple to create a cozy corner in your home where
Mm,
you can unwind. It could be a comfy chair, a soft blanket,
hmm.
anything that brings you peace, right? And you can take like a few moments just for yourself.
Yes.
It's so important, and also important to be kind to yourself, because we all make mistakes, and that's okay. So self-compassion and forgiveness, forgive ourselves when the things don't go the way we planned. I think it's also very important.
Yeah. Retraining that self-talk in our head to be
Mm,
nicer.
yes, yes,
Right? Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Pretending.
Go ahead.
Imagine what you're telling yourself. Would you say those things to someone else? Would you say those things to your child?
Right.
Probably not.
What's your
So
best friend, right?
or your best friend. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just be nicer to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of us shame ourselves in our head when we get in
Mm,
our head and we just are not so nice to ourselves, negative,
mm-hmm.
guilt, shame, all the
Mm-hmm.
things.
Yeah, yeah. Guilt and shame may seem similar, and people use them interchangeably, but they are quite different. So, guilt is described as the emotional response to a specific behavior or action that is perceived as wrong. So, for a working mom, might come from missing important moments with her kids due to a work commitment, like not being able to attend a school play or being late for pickup because of a meeting. Is that feeling of regret or remorse for not being there when her children need her. Shame, on the other hand, operates on a more profound level, is affecting one's sense of self. Unlike guilt, which is associated with action,
Mhm.
shame is tied to an individual identity and self worth.
Mm,
When experiencing shame, people often internalize a negative belief about themselves, feeling fundamentally flawed and unworthy. So, shame might creep in when a working mom compares herself to other moms who seem to have it all together. So, is that internalized belief that she's not measuring up and that she's failing as a mom because she's not able to be there for her kids as much as she'd like to be. Guilt is more about specific actions and behaviors, like missing events, while shame is about feeling unworthy as a mom, regardless of the situation. It may sound like, I am a bad mom.
mm.
So I know this is a fascinating topic, and
It
uh,
is. And I'm sure it can be a whole podcast episode on its own.
for sure, yes, yes, it's a
Wow.
fascinating topic, and
Well,
yes,
thank you for explaining the difference.
yes.
That was great.
If you or your audience want to dive deep into mom's guilt and shame, I invite you to be part of my coaching practice, where in addition to individual private sessions, I now offer small group sessions. It's a cozy and intimate group coaching experience for up to 5 women, and all they need to do is be open and vulnerable. It's a small community of women sharing stories, supporting and learning from each other, and growing together. And the connection between women is so strong that they have the courage to share secrets they couldn't share with family or friends, but they feel comfortable sharing in the small circle knowing that they won't be judged, but they feel seen and understood. I am a strong believer in the power of collective growth. So I'd love you to be part of this incredible journey.
Wonderful. Absolutely. Well, then tell us where people can find you, follow you, stay in touch, or reach out. And you can go ahead and tell everybody where to find you. We'll also leave the links in the show notes.
Sure. You can find me online. My website is called simplygratefulcoaching.com. And on Instagram, I'm alinafortis.coach.
Wonderful. We'll link up to your website and your Instagram for people to easily find you. Anything else you'd like to say to make this episode complete for you?
I think I go back to what I said at the beginning. If there is that thing that the audience remembers from our discussion today, is that perfection is an illusion. Moms, be kind to yourself and know you do the best you can.
Well said. We're going to wrap up. Thank you so much coming onto the show, and hopefully we'll bring you back on. All right.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Wasn't that great? Are you kinder to yourself in your head? I hope so. Sometimes we need an external permission, just how human brain works, I guess. So, if you'd like to go deeper with Alina on this topic or find out more about her offerings, I encourage you to book a free call with her on her website at simplygratefulcoaching.com. And until next time, take care of yourselves.